Happy Saturday. Good morning, Sonder family. Rise and shine. Grab your big old cup of coffee or tea or lemon water, however you start your morning and kicking off your weekend. You are here with Team Jennifer this morning. I'm Jennifer Ogilvy. I'm in the Dallas, Texas area, and I get to be your facilitator on screen this morning. And then joining me is my co-pilot today, Jennifer Krippner, coming to you from Minnesota. And she was showing me pictures of her outside. They got snow. So I know if you're up in that part of the United States, you are in January again, even though the calendar says March. But we're so glad to see you this morning. Most of the time, Jennifer and I do the Monday morning setups. So it's not Monday. It really is Saturday morning. This is St. Patrick's Day weekend. Maybe you have a little bit of fun planned to embrace that celebration. Jennifer Krippner she's in Minnesota. And let's see, watching the chat. Yesterday, y'all, we had a dust storm here in the Dallas area, and like it was like you couldn't see the sky. It was really weird and kind of this weather, right? The spring weather's crazy. Anyhow, but just a little got an Irish blessing there for you in honor of St. Patrick's Day weekend. For each petal on this shamrock, this brings a wish your way. Good health, good luck, and happiness for today and every day, which is perfect with our theme of vitality. Oh, Katie, I've been helping with the daily rituals. So that would be me. I hope, yeah, it maybe I'm hoping my accent didn't come through too thick. I have that deep East Texas accent. There's those community guidelines. I showed these as we were entering our time together, but it's a reminder that we create safe spaces when we're with one another. And so these are kind of those guidelines that we use to guide our time. The ultimate one is definitely the one at the bottom about taking care of yourself. This is about your time, carving that time out. We want to have this power of community. This is what's so special and so different about our Silk and Sonder journey is that we also have a community of folks, this like-mindedness who, we're supporting each other. We are trying to become the best version of ourselves with our virtual community. So, anyhow, make sure that you're taking good care of yourself. Of course, I found there's another testimonial that Christy posted this past week on the 12th about how her personal life coach has been being able to, yeah, there she is. Hey, Christy. And Christy, I loved your question. She asked the question of Jenny, if you were my tipsy bestie, what would you tell someone else about me? And she will give you good feedback. If you're having a rough day, you could just say, Jenny, tell me why I'm wonderful. So, Christy, thanks for posting. I grabbed that and threw that on the screen because I thought that was kind of a fun shout out to that personalized life coach that you have in your back pocket 24/7. You don't have to wait for a phone call. You don't have to wait for an office hour. That's there. So, of course, we are continuing. We're about halfway through our journey through vitality, which I am loving. I love this theme. I'm a gardener. Vitality is a daily question I ask myself and have been for the last few years as I'm entering this second half of my life. And I always want to make sure that I am embracing life with a lot of vitality. I mean, that's just a word I use a lot. So I'm very excited. I hope you've enjoyed exploring what vitality looks like in your life and finding that balance. It's not just about go, go, go. It's also about rest. And we're going to talk a little bit about that in a minute. It's about, that yin and yang of our life, the ebb and flow. Martha Graham, of course, from the dance world, she says there is a vitality, a life force, and energy, a quickening that is translated through you into action. And because there is only one of you in all time, this expression is unique. And I just love that. Only one of you in all time. Here are a couple of things I've been looking at to sort of guide my mindset as I've considered vitality this week. I love kind of looking at that ASAP through a different lens of slowing up life and, just embracing. So if one of those little ASAPs speak to you, maybe grab that. If I didn't ask, is there anybody here for the very first time at a social? Because we would love to give you a special welcome from, I mean, I'm seeing all the regulars here, but we would like to welcome you. And then I want to encourage you to grab a screenshot or take pictures of anything that speaks to you this morning if you see something you want to put in your journal. So maybe this ASAP is a nice way to frame out a couple of your days this week. Also, we're going to talk about like some energy givers. Here's a little menu of some things that you can maybe consider for those habit trackers or even your goals for the week. Are you finding sunshine? Are you eating healthy food? Are you finding time for rest and reading, but also movement and getting out in nature? I love that because it says many cases of tiredness are due to stress and not enough of those good things that feed us, feed our souls in ways beyond, nutrition. All righty. So our time this morning, we're going to be looking at that vitality mind map. This is week number 3. We're doing 4 weeks worth of looking at that mind map. We're going to spend some time with our rosebud thorn reflection, and I've got some examples for our weekly setup pages. I'll give you time and guide you through some considerations for setting up those pages. So here's my mind map setup this month. If you are maybe here and haven't embraced all 4 weeks yet. I've been on my cookie cutter kick as of late, and I think I'll just be doing cookie cutters from now on because it's just a fun way to set that mind map up. But you can, just make spaces, draw lines, use your weekly scratch pad, do these on sticky notes that you can maybe move with you through the month. You could utilize the quote page. The last page is a great place. Mine is on the last page because it's just easy to turn to find. So if you haven't already found that space, go ahead and get you a space ready for week 3's mind map. Week 1, we looked at emotional vitality. How do we recharge emotionally after a draining day? Last week, we visited community vitality, like who in our community brings out our best energy and how can we take ownership of that and deepen connections. And we talked a lot about like this community is part of who we are. Week 3, here we are. This is this week's the feeling of vitality. How do I know when I'm full of vitality? And we're considering our body sensations, our emotions, our mental states, social interactions, spiritual alignment, just, like all the feels, right? So I have a couple of really cool quotes, and then I'll talk about where the direction I went with this. But I love this quote from Mark Twain because I really feel like here's this vitality. The 2 most important days in your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why. And man, when that vitality is aligned with who you are, right? That's that purpose, and that's how you know you're full of vitality. Congruence means you are living in alignment with what you know is the best you. I think that really kind of sums up how do you know when you're feeling that you are full of vitality. And I started writing mine, and I kind of rambled because one thing, but I noticed that what I wrote, I talked about, when I'm full of vitality, I laugh more. Um, when I'm well rested, I feel vital. And then I started thinking about what that looks like. My process, my thoughts are clearer. I feel more balanced. I want to make plans with friends and family. I'm able to be the best version of myself. I make great health choices, and all of those things really had me think about what that means in terms of being well rested. And I think for me, when I have all these different types of rest aligned and balanced well in my life, I have that, I know I am feeling vital, right? So for me, it really hinges a lot on rest. When I am tired, I am not the best version of myself. I used to laugh about, I'd go to work and I'd be exhausted, just tired. We've all been there, and I would just think, fake it till you make it. And I used to, I'm pretty good at it, but it's still not my best self. So kind of think about what's popping into your head. Like how do you know when you are full of vitality, and does it hinge on rest, or does it hinge on some things that need to be aligned, that like they're like the must do's must be happening, or I don't feel vital. And then share that in the chat. I'll go back and forth between all these slides while you're working on that. But also, again, feel free to share like what kind of stuff's popping up for you. Maybe it's about being with people, and certain people you have to have, you got to have that fix. And that's when you feel your fullest. So anyway, I'm looking forward to seeing what you say. I'll be back to check in with you in just a few moments. I love the considerations that you're sharing in the chat. We've got lots of car and chair dancing, singing happening. And yes, there were some call outs about, life is full of ebbs and flows. And so sometimes you feel most vital after a downtime. Maybe, a period where maybe depression has been kind of very present with you, and then the sun comes up and you're ready to take on the world, and that feeling of I did it. I made it through this little season, right? And I feel vital because I survived that. So that's a great call out because life is full of those ebbs and flows. We have great days, we have sad days. And it's about embracing, where we are, and we're doing the best we can. So thank you for considering this, and, let this one kind of bob around. Notice this week. Perhaps that's something you could put on a habit or an activity tracker, or one of the things you might use in a space like Mind Body Health Plan. Maybe it's about stopping and really seeking moments of vitality and paying attention. Like, I feel really good right now. What do I need to do to make sure that that continues to happen, right? Or that I can kind of call back. There's also the idea of creating a menu of things that you can pull from to help you feel vitality. And oh, Jen just said, as a 6-year cancer survivor, waking up every day is all you need. Girl, it's so true, right? Like, you just count those blessings. You just never know. Congratulations. That's so good. So now let's take a moment to look at our rosebud thorn reflection on page 44, and you may wait until, tomorrow evening, the end of the week, but you can start definitely considering what this week has brought your way. Those thorns are the hiccups, the things that didn't go so well, things that maybe we weren't planning to happen, and they're not fun. And sometimes thorns are always there, right? There may be, and I mentioned this, health is a big one. Like, there can always, sometimes thorns just don't go away. But it's powerful to acknowledge them, put them on paper, and then take it a step further and think, what can I learn from this thorn? How is it growing me and making me a better person? So, that's your challenge for the week, the thorns. And then the buds are the things that you're looking forward to. It could be as simple as I'm looking forward to a brand new week. It doesn't have to be, some huge, big project coming down the pipe. It can be, but it can also just be a new beginning. And then your rose is, of course, a thing that brought you the most joy, the thing you're most proud of. Just, it was what made last week, what was the best part of last week. So for me, my thorn is caregiving for my husband. Y'all, he had his first of two new knee surgeries, and it's going great. But my thorn is just that caregiving, and I'm fortunate that he's getting better, and my caregiving responsibilities are slacking off. Um, some of you cannot say that. You are full-time caregivers. But just within that, it's a different rhythm and routine. So I got behind on stuff. So that was just a thorn for me. My bud, all the things in the garden is just the bud for me. I'm a gardener. I'm ready to work the dirt. And then I have a girls' weekend coming up next week with my the OGs, the people I raised my kids with, and they're in the Houston area where I'm from. So I get to hang out with them next weekend. I'm so excited about that. And Tammy, yes, you're so right. Never forget to take care of the caregiver. And I have found moments where I made myself stop, right? Because I'm very go, go, go. And I made myself stop and just like sit with a book, grab that tea, just and say, this is my 5 minutes. And then the rose, it was spring break here in Dallas for my grandson, and he came and hung out for a couple of days, and that was fun. And then my husband's making great progress, and I'm just very, very, very proud of him. So those are mine. I'm gonna put on a little bit of music while you reflect on your week, and we would love to celebrate your roses with you, and then remind you that you're not alone with those thorns. So drop them in the chat. There's power in knowing that other people are reading those and thinking of you and carrying you in their hearts. I'll be back to check in just a moment. You know, when we take a moment to do this rosebud thorn reflection each week, I really like to frame it out in the through a lens of gratitude, being thankful for everything that life threw my way, even not the good stuff, but again, what did I learn? Thank y'all for sharing in the chat. Some of you are definitely throwing in some of the muscles and doing some of the hard work. So proud of you for that. Just give yourself a pat on the back and know, that your Sonder family is cheering for you. And yeah, Nathania has been sharing her journey with her family and the fires in California. So you're going through mail and organizing, and you're going to get your folks moved back in where they need to be. And we've just got lots of Michelle is sharing in the chat some stuff that's going on with them. Um, so oh my goodness, your husband, you had tornado locked us in your closet during the tornado, and yeah, oh my gosh. I'm glad his foot's okay. Heavens to Betsy. So, you never know what life's going to bring you, right? That's what's so great about these rosebud thorns is it makes us stop and pay attention to what's going on. So, I'm sending y'all lots of good thoughts and hugs and anyway, I want you now to turn to that currently page that you will find on page 39 in your journal. And I want us to take just a moment. Sorry, I'm getting readjusted on my chair. I want you to take just a moment to go back over to that intention page and those monthly habits and do a little check in with yourself. How are your intentions going? Did you leave them on that page or have you been bringing them forth into your weeks? How's that habit tracker do? My habit tracker, I was gonna go, 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 and the first week we had surgery, and so nothing's checked, right? I've done very little work on my habit tracker, so I'm going to reframe a couple of things. I'm going to redo a couple of the habits I was going to track. It's okay to stop mid-month and give yourself that grace and do something that, I have the data that's showing me this isn't the month for that, right? Because it's blank. So give yourself permission to update that as needed. Take a look at what you wanted to stop, start, and continue for this month. Is that happening? So I'm going to put on just a little bit of music, just a couple of minutes while we look into this and maybe start jotting some of the things down on that currently page, what you are loving, what this month of vitality is bringing your way as we consider, what are you enjoying, what are you anticipating, what are you wishing for, what are you reading? Maybe do that through that lens. And there's three lines here. Some folks like to do, after the first week, they check in week one. After the second week, they do line number two. After the third week, they do line number three. There's always a way that you can check in throughout the month with this. So anyhow, but let's just take a moment. Let's see, kind of do that mid-month check-in and see how we're doing, and then we'll get on with the rest of our setup. Y'all, Tammy has two engaged daughters. So she's currently planning lots, of stuff. Thanks for taking a moment to look at this. You may still be kind of considering the things that are on these pages and kind of what you want the rest of March to bring your way, go ahead and continue to work on that while we get going on our weekly planner, which you'll find this week, week number 3 of March, on pages 46 and 47. I've got a couple of examples from Sonder Club to show you, um, just to share what a whole page can look like. So you can see, we've got some goals set up. The person on the left did not indicate a number for their goals and activities this week. The person on the right did. Please notice the one on the right, instead of doing 3 goals, 3 major goals for the week, that's actually where they have repurposed that space to do their AM routine and their PM routine. And I love that. Every now and then I need a reset because I don't have that regular rhythm to my days, since I'm retired. And so I love the idea of kind of resetting with a rhythm and routine. And I love that this person used the major goals so that when they open their journal to the week, there they are, looking at them, reminding them. Um, and the to-do list, one is a to-do list, the one on the left, just that list, the one on the right. The to-do list has been broken down into what do I need, what do I want, and what do I hope for the week. So just, some inspiration for you. And let's start with, how do you want to feel this week? So I keep writing caught up in how I want to feel. But let me know what, drop it in the chat. What feeling is coming up for you? How do you want to feel this week? How is this week? How is that going to guide you? If you have um, let's see, who was it that said, got a really rough week coming up? I'm going back through the chat. And um, let's see. Sorry, y'all. I'm so slow on the chat to find it. Maybe I don't remember who said it's going to be a really rough week. And so I'm embracing some ways to have some go-tos for myself, right? Like for vitality. If that was you, drop that back in the chat because I forgot. But that I'm anticipating this week. So if you have like a busy, crazy, really hard week, then maybe you need to feel calm and do that opposite. So think about what your week needs to bring. Megan says for the whole month, energize. She needs that energy. Um, that's happening. Jody says organized. Organized is mine often because I feel like I have stuff everywhere. So a lot of efficient. Yes, Nathania's doing all that moving. So efficiency is going to be great. Productive. What other things are coming up for you? Drop that in the chat. I love hopeful and determined. So using that, good for you, Katie. I'm glad those are the words you're embracing. Energized and organized. I love that. There's not a right way or wrong way to do this. You can use quotes or phrases. Now we're going to take those feelings into those weekly goals. If you are using that space for your weekly goals, let's make them a SMART goal. Let's make sure that we are very specific with our goals, that we arrange a way to measure them, that they are attainable, that we really can do it. We're not setting ourselves up for failure. Make sure they're relevant and tied to a time, they're time bound, they're timely. We love the idea of those SMART goals, right? It really helps us sink in and be specific. So I have some examples of how folks have set this up. And my question is, how will your goals support the way you want to feel this week? Ask yourself, what is your why as you're setting this up? And then here's just some wonderful examples from y'all about setting yourself up. That a lot of folks like to divide these goals into 3 categories: mind, body, soul. I love the let go, leap into, and learn. Maybe your goals come from that reflection on our mid-month currently page and looking back at our intentions or our stop, start, and continue spaces. Maybe you reflect those things here. Again, some more examples. Always love the little mini checklists that are in there. How the one in the very middle has, their daily check-in for each one of those goals for self-accountability. Here we see goals and then tied directly into the habit or the to-do list for the week. So, they made their list of their goals, and then they have done the to-dos to make those goals happen. And then the one over there on the right, just, they're repurposing the space into a quote that's going to guide them for the week. That's okay. Sometimes your to-dos are like also goals, right? They're all kind of interwoven in there. So again, a reminder that you can repurpose this space if the goals are not speaking to you. So maybe you just make a song list here or some things you want to watch, or we all love a bingo. It's just fun to gamify our life and to be able to color those things in or check them off. Perhaps you figure out how you want to embrace vitality with this space. And maybe you're going to track moments of vitality and you're going to do a little mini journal response. Or you could just throw some stickers there. Stickers want to be stuck. Now we're going to look at those to-dos. Just a reminder, we've got that little calendar up there that you could also utilize for some of the things this week. So there's an example from last year about how that little calendar's being used. Oh, and Janine's saying she needs to know, how do you make everything look so pretty? Janine, you know what? Here's mine. It's just black pen, right? I'm not a sticker fancy scrapbook kind of person. So, it's okay to just use black ink if that's what speaks to you. Here's a whole list of things you can use this to-do list for, what a to-do list can look like. It can be, again, broken up into categories, but sometimes, maybe we have a list of things that we haven't done and it's a dread list. It's just the stuff we keep putting off, and we put it all in one place and we make a commitment to get that knocked out. Perhaps a self-care list, things that you don't want to forget this week. You can use stickers. You can make this a ta-da space. We always throw this Eisenhower matrix in because it's a really great way of taking a lot of things and plugging them into spaces that will help you discern what you really need to work on, the important and urgent things, to the things that can be delayed or even removed completely from that list, the things that are not important and not urgent. I know that several folks will use an Eisenhower matrix for their work to-dos. And so they have like a personal to-do list. It's just a regular to-do list. And then they'll pull in an Eisenhower matrix for perhaps their work for the week, because it helps them, again, prioritize. Sometimes that's really hard. Some examples of what that looks like, if you have repurposed the space. I love the little weekly to-dos there in the middle where they have these little mini, nice, tiny little boxes. But again, these categories. You can also leave this space blank, and then the extra things you do, because my to-do list, I write on my daily spread, what I'm going to do on Monday, what I'm going to do on Tuesday. And I leave mine blank for to-dos, and then all the extras, I go and jot that in to give myself that credit for doing. And then we're going to drop down to that habit and activity tracker. And then I'm going to go back through all these slides while you're working on this page. Remember, I shared this graphic a couple of weeks ago. Habits don't just happen overnight. So your habits and activities should be seen on the regular. Don't feel like you have to reinvent the wheel every single week. It takes a minimum of 3 weeks for an easy habit to sort of get hardwired in your brain. But y'all, it can take up to 8 months for a harder habit, a trickier habit, eating nutritiously dense foods, right? For me, that's huge. And that is for me an 8-month habit of putting some steps in place to make sure that I'm not just mindlessly eating. So, and I fall off the wagon and I have to get back on. So, I'm doing better like with my protein, but it is a long process. So just that reminder to give yourself that grace and that time that's needed for your habits to happen. Here are just a few ways of setting the this up. In this space, you have 5 lines. They do not have to all be filled out. It's okay to just put 1 or 2 things here. Again, setting yourself up, whoever's having a slammed week, maybe the things you put in this tracker have to do with, being gentle and kind to yourself, giving yourself a breathing break, making sure you're filling up your water bottle for the day. Do a couple of things that are really going to help you have success with this busy, busy week. You can circle the days that you want specific things to happen. This tracker is so neat because it can be changed up for the week that you're having. And it's not just habits, it's also activity. So perhaps, it's your turn to do something. It's your turn to start the coffee at work. And so that's on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And you're going to circle those days to make sure that happens. You can gamify this by assigning goal numbers and doing it in a way of like a countdown, like you see in the left upper left there, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It just makes it kind of fun. You can bring habits from your habit tracker, that monthly habit tracker, the things that you're wanting to do most days. Put a couple of those here in this space. Seeing it twice can maybe help you reinforce, especially if it's a new habit. Yeah. And so I've got some suggestions if you're looking for a little inspiration to maybe add something new, something fun to that. So, yeah. Oh, Katie, I love that you're drinking the protein shakes. I've been dumping collagen into my coffee just to kind of get that first kick of the day of my the good proteins. So I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna put on a bunch of music and go back and forth through all these slides while you work on this and keep sharing in the chat. Y'all are dropping some great things. What your goals are, what your habits are going to be this week, because what you're doing may inspire your Sonder family. All righty. So we've got this first page set up, or you're finishing it up. Now we're going to go to the B side, as our co-facilitator Katie refers to the second page. And today we're going to take a look at all of these sections. And then I have a whole bunch of different ideas that you could plug into any of these areas. I've got a lot of graphics today to share with you to kind of, consider how you want to set this up. Your mind body health plan space. I always call that my selfish space. That's that's where I put the things that are just for me, kind of that self-care. Currently, I've been tracking my veggies and fruits there because that's something that's important to me. But maybe whatever you would normally think about as a mind body health journaling activity, you may find that that fits better in those spaces on your meal plan. So you may actually repurpose that meal plan for the things you're going to do for your mind body health. And maybe you just put your main meal of the day and you write those down in the mind body health plan. So we always feel like this page is so flexible. So I've got a bunch of stuff to show you, and then we'll go back through all the slides while you work on it, because you might want to, put some of these things and incorporate it in any of these spaces. Now, again, this is that not exhaustive list, but a lot of repurposing ideas that I've seen our Sonder family do on this page. So feel free to grab a screenshot with this long list of some things that maybe you'll think about. If you play Wordle, maybe you want to record your Wordle words somewhere. Or perhaps this is your gift idea list, or maybe you do your prayer list here, or you have a quote for the week and it goes in one of these spaces. So here's just a couple of examples from y'all. You can see that the meal plan has been changed into a priority place to put kind of those main things for the week there. The one on the right puts, it's my week at a glance, kind of those. It looks like maybe some, how they want to spend time, or maybe how they're paying bills. I don't know. Mind body health plan for the one over on the right is, what did I do for me? Really, a little reflection. But the one on the left is just this little check-in. Let's keep looking. What did I do well instead of the meal plan? How did I fill my cup for the mind body health? I love the one on the right because the mind body health has been changed into plant care, which can be pretty important, especially this time of year as the seasons have changed. You can see that one on the right, the shopping list is the intentions space for the week, and they're using, some of the fun ways of embracing the week with a little alliteration there. Here's another one. The one over here on the right, I haven't gotten my first page set up, but I've gotten my second page set up, and that one is mine for the week. And then let's see, you see some bingos on here. My bingo is a garden bingo. And then here's all these graphics of things that you might want to throw in here. So we've got making alliteration days, which are kind of fun. Here's our fun things that are happening this week. Y'all, on the 22nd, it's goof off day. So give yourself permission to have some goof off time. The 19th is Certified Nurses Day. Shout out to all of those nurses that we have in our Sonder family. And then on the 23rd, it's like the perfect day. It's Tamale Day and Puppy Day. Um, this was actually a work challenge, but you could bring this into your home life as well. But maybe you do want to do get a friend or two at work and lean into some of these things together for the week. But you could also incorporate them into your personal life, like no takeout day, self-love session, share a compliment day. Though all of these ideas could go really anywhere. Here is a quick little journal reflection, self-esteem journal reflection. Love the one on the right about 10 habits that you might want to incorporate somewhere on this page. Here is a spring cleaning challenge. I've actually been embracing this, and the first week was my husband's surgery, and I got zero done. But I've been trying to use this list to inspire my spring cleaning. But maybe you want to do a March photo challenge and you're just going to do it for the week. So you go pick out 7 things you want to capture on your photo roll this week, just to add a little bit of fun and vitality. Get yourself outside. Here's a way to look at reading through different ways of incorporating that into your journal. Some spring self-care. Again, maybe just pick 7. You don't have to do the whole monthly thing. How to fill your own cup. A gratitude reflection for each day. And then I really wanted to show some examples of that one thing box that's on that weekly spread. And so here's just how some folks have set that space up. Like that. We'll go back through these so you can capture anything. And let's work on this page, and then we will close out our time together. Oh my goodness, the fastest hour of our week. I'm so proud of you for making this appointment with yourself and holding yourself accountable to make this journal work the very best way it can for you. Thank you for waking up this morning with Team Jennifer. It's going to be a week filled with vitality. You did it. You've got your mindset going and you're ready to just jump into the weekend. May the road rise to meet you. May the wind always be at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face and the rains fall soft upon your fields. Happy St. Patrick's Day. We'll see you all next time. And be sure to check the chat for all the links Jennifer is dropping in there. Make it a great weekend. Y'all have a good one.
I feel good. I knew that I wouldn't. I feel good. I knew that I wouldn't. So good, so good. I got you. Wow, I feel nice. A sugar and spice. I feel nice. A sugar and spice.